So my team are working on treatments for this COVID-19, and it's amazing the collaborative spirit in Australia. What we've done is we've looked at research from overseas and some of the early experience from China, although I have to say that in China it was really done under very chaotic conditions. But we've got a consortium of 50 hospitals around Australia that are all willing to participate in a large clinical trial. It will really be a world first clinical trial in which we're comparing different treatments for COVID-19. Now, it's interesting that the treatments are actually what we call recycled or repurposed drugs. One is an HIV drug, one is a malaria drug, and then we're going to put the two together to see what is the best drug treatment for our patients with COVID-19.
Are these because those existing drugs that are taking on those health issues have the types of properties that if you change it by a couple of percent here, a couple of percent there, it's able to swamp the virus? Does it kill the virus? How does it attack the virus?
Yeah, so the different drugs have different ways they can attack the virus. And it's really interesting because the drugs were not designed to kill coronavirus, but when there was SARS and MERS, which were due to novel coronaviruses, people thought, let's have a look at everything in the back cupboards, let's see what's going to kill these new coronaviruses. And that's the experimentation that we're benefiting from. But the really amazing thing is that here in Australia, we have infectious diseases doctors like myself and my colleagues across the country who are willing to, go the extra yard and really rigorously study these patients. What we want to do is we want to get in early. As soon as a person is admitted to hospital with a diagnosis of COVID-19, and we want to stop them going down that path that leads to intensive care unit admission, artificial ventilation, and unfortunately death. So it's really an early treatment. They're all tablet treatments, they're not intravenous. And so the potential down the road is that even general practitioners could use them if they've got a confirmed case of COVID-19.
How long is that road, though? We hear, say, with Israel, that was apparently within 90 days away from getting close to something. And then in some parts of America, we hear that if anyone is able to get close, then it's a year of a mixture of testing, production, all the rest of it here. Look, we know it's not happening anytime soon, but how long do you feel that road could be?
Well, it's different because this is not a new vaccine that has to be developed from scratch. They're drugs that are already licensed for use in Australia, and so they've already got a good safety record. So we're finalising the protocol for how we're going to do it right now. It will go to hospital ethics committees, hopefully by Friday, and hopefully by the end of next week we'll have our first patients enrolled. How quickly the study gets finished will really depend on how many patients we see, but it could be as soon as 3 months that we know which of these 3 treatments, the HIV drug, the malaria drug, or the 2 put together, is actually the best.
Now, we know that 80% of people who will have coronavirus will have a mild form of it. We know that there is roughly half of the global population that have got it have recovered from it. Will this testing be focused on that 80%, or are we starting to move that testing towards those that are going to be closer to the severe end of things?
Yeah, so to get into the study, you've got to be admitted to hospital. So, a young person who's just got a bit of a sniffle ends up getting tested for coronavirus, is found to be positive, can be managed at home. They're not going to get into the study. It's going to be a big study. We think there'll probably be 2,400 patients who will study. So it's going to be very rigorous. And I think we'll be able to, lead the world in information as to what is the best treatment that doctors should recommend when a person's got COVID-19. Now, if something, new and amazing comes as a result of, stimulus for research from the US or Western Europe, we'll have that infrastructure in place to put our best versus the world's best, and just let's see what is really the ultimate best way we can treat this condition. Because we're in it for the long haul. We realistically, there's going to be cases of COVID-19 right through this year, and we really want to offer Australians the best possible treatment out there.
Well, Professor, all the best to you and your team. There's an Australian in the year gong for it. If you can get there, well done to you and your team. I can feel the excitement. And look, as early as Friday, when it comes to the beginnings of paperwork, this is amazing stuff. Good on you, Professor. Thank you so much for the chat.